Good afternoon, ma'am.
Good afternoon, Pooja. Can you hear me clearly?
Yeah, yeah.
Okay, great.
Welcome, ma'am.
Thank you.
Good afternoon.
Good afternoon. So this should be एकदा कुठला वरती कशावर ठेवायचं किंवा खालीवरती म्हणजे कसं आयत्या ऍडजस्टमेंट करायला थांबा. بس فظيع.
हेलो मैडम, आप
Hello, am I audible? Hello.
Yeah, we can hear you.
Yeah, we will start the session in next 5 minutes. Actually, just we are waiting for one of the guest speaker. They are having, I guess, some issues in logging in. Once the ma'am is here, we will start the session.
Pooja, I have another meeting by 4:30. We'll wind up before that, right?
Yeah, right. Hello. 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 Arabi. Am I audible? Like,
Yeah, we can hear you.
good afternoon, everyone, and thank you so much for joining the webinar. So we are starting the webinar as of now. Once the Major Ma'am is in, we will introduce her. I'll start with my introduction. I'm Pooja, working as in customer service with JM Bakshi Group Pune. I'm also assisting in Exim Integrated club as a PRO. I have to thank Exim for giving me this opportunity for hosting the webinar. There are Exim has always been helpful for exposure of many people, and there is only three main steps for following and getting a member of Exim, and that is firstly you have to be the member of the trade of the supply chain. Once you are a member of the supply chain, you can be the member of the Exim. There are only few steps that you have to register yourself, and the third most important thing is you have to be active and helping for the social welfare activities that are conducted by Exim. So these are the three steps, and I'm one of the example of Exim, being an Exim member. I registered myself 2 years back just as a normal member, and then seeing the webinar, seeing the this in made by the webinars and training session conducted by the Exim, and now seeing that learning things from that, now I have come to the stage that I am hosting the webinar. So yeah, that it has been great for a great opportunity for me. Exim has always been success. Exim has successfully arranged many webinars in the past in the topic like has always been a crucial topic, and it has always been hard for the people to understand and learn things about it. And Exim has very it successfully handled the session training session in the has. And also we had the last session webinar on the budget training, that the new budgets which was released, the Exim trained the people about the budget training. So now we are at a stage that is like financially we are ending this year, that is 2022 and 23, and many of the organizations are busy filing the GST and TDS return and many things. But during this thing, one thing they have uh, failing, or we can say not giving that much importance, that is about the PoSH. But PoSH is also an compulsory act that has been came up in 2013, and we thought as an Exim we can educate people, give them training about the PoSH, as this is a compliance. So we have arranged this webinar on PoSH. So we all know that in ancient times, it was always women who was worshipped. We call Ma Saraswati for blessing us in studies. We call Ma Durga to give us strength, Ma Lakshmi to bless us with the wealth, and many more after that age. We got brave ladies like Tarabai, the regent of Maratha Empire. Velu Nachiyar was one of the earliest Indian queens to fight against the British colonial power, and Rani Lakshmi Bai was one of the Maratha who ruled the Jhansi in 1857. But after the ages, we saw that this woman empowerment went on vanishing, and the women were afraid to raise their voice against the society. So it was like moreover women were vanished and their powers were vanished. So this is the reason we are standing here at this time, that we again want women to grow and raise their voice against the harassment they are facing, or against many issues they are facing. We want women to come up strongly and again get that equal rights in the society. So this is the main reason we have arranged this training. So I would like to, as Himani ma'am has also joined us, I'd like to introduce first a key speaker, Anaga Joshi, advocate. Anaga ma'am has been Anaga ma'am has more than 17 years of experience and extensive exposure in the legal field. We also welcome our honorable guest, Himani Dameja ma'am, Deputy Commissioner, Pune Customs. We also welcome our guest speaker, Sanjam Sahi Gupta, Director of Sitara Shipping Limited. So, Sanjam ma'am, hello.
Yes, Pooja.
Ma'am, I would like to take the opportunity on your behalf and congratulate Exam for arranging the webinar on PoSH. I would like you to share some viewpoints on PoSH. Also, you have been worked so much on the gender equality and your fought for women empowerment. So I would like some viewpoints from your end, ma'am.
Sure. Thank you so much. And thank you for Exim Club for organizing this much needed seminar. And I have been part of this industry for 2 decades now. It's a wonderful industry to work in, and I'm second generation in the family business. My father's a master mariner. But when I entered the industry, I found there were very few women, very few role models. So I wanted to create a platform for women where they were able to voice their concerns, get advice, be mentored. And that led to the launching of Vista. Um, I think that the logistics industry is traditionally associated with men, and perhaps due to the idea that we have associated with physical work, moving and lifting, and goods transport is still seen as dirty, unforgiving physical work, job generally related to masculinity. Even at the managerial level, we find that gender equality is not a consideration. Evidence can be found because of the lack of women at C-suite levels, and a lot of companies have yet to achieve their diversity targets, or even have the pay gaps remain abridged throughout the industries. Female workers are paid nearly 6% less than their male counterparts. According to recent research on the gender balance in logistics industries, women are not often treated equally by their leaders. And a number of organizations have been formed to confront these problems, such as Vista, which I will be talking about. Vista is none other than Women's International Shipping and Trading Association. We have nearly 4,000 members now in 54 countries, but there remains a huge amount of ground to make up, because gender stereotypes are a problem across industry, and they discourage women from being taken into male jobs, and they also discourage them for fear of female harassment. So what I think is really necessary, one, is to have more role models, more visible role models, and we need to have more women on the top. And in the end, there's a lack of leaders in the women in logistics, and it's about raising awareness and encouraging women to brand themselves and do talks. So what I think is, every single woman in the industry who's listening here today, you have a role to play. We need to all get better at promoting ourselves. We need to promote each other and show that the industry provides an attractive career option for all women. We all need to come together towards a common role and support and inspire each other. Perhaps here the industry bodies like Vista and Vilat can lend a hand. And there are many of good examples to highlight. We have entrepreneurs such as Liji Noval, who couldn't join us today. And we have senior industry figures like Janvi Mehta of MSC and past chairperson of SCI, Mrs. H.K. Joshi. Our industry is full of women who have overcome the odds and are working towards a more inclusive industry. Now it is our job to foster the next generation of female talent. So let's make logistics a genuine level playing field and allow women to rise to the top without having to smash any ceilings along the way. Thank you so much. Pooja, if you could play the Vista video so everybody would know more about what Vista is.
Sure, ma'am. Just a moment.
Yeah, thank you. Just need to turn on the volume, I think. Actually, the volume is not coming of the video.
Yes, ma'am.
There's no volume for the video. Actually, I can't hear any volume. Could you just check if you could?
Just a moment, ma'am. Is it now?
No, I can only see the video.
Just a moment.
Pooja, check the volume of your system.
Ma'am, it is on. The volume of my system is full.
All right. Then do you want to just show the video with because the volume is not coming? You can go ahead and just play the video.
Yeah, ma'am. I'll play the video right from the beginning.
Yeah, thank you. Thank you, Pooja. Thanks.
ये लिंक थोड़ी देर बाद फिर से म्यूट कर
Ma'am, I'm sending this link back to the IT team, and once the session is over, again we will play this same video with the audio, ma'am.
Thank you, Pooja. Thanks for the efforts.
Yeah. So next, I welcome Himani, ma'am. Hello.
Yeah, we can hear you.
Himani, ma'am. I guess ma'am has. I guess ma'am is not. Just a moment. I guess there is some technical error with the Meja ma'am. She'll be joining us again back shortly. Meanwhile, I would like to I would like to thank Liji ma'am for always supporting us. Unfortunately, due to some issues, she is not able to join us in this session. But Odex has always been a great help to EIC from day one. So I'll just like to read out some words on behalf of Liji ma'am. So here we go. PoSH has been a topic close to my heart. Before founding ODEX, I have worked with many organizations, both multinationals and Indian, and have seen closely how women and sometimes even men feel uncomfortable in certain situations at work, especially where superiors behave in a manner that is completely unwarned. While it is essential to educate and train the entire organization in acceptable and unacceptable behavior at work, it is also essential to create a safe space where people can vent and complain. PoSH committees, though now an essential compliance, should also be implemented in the full measure in the organization's daily life. Discussions like today's are essential to spread awareness on this topic, and I thank EIC for organizing this timely webinar. We thank Liji ma'am again, and it is very sad that she's not part of this session. So here we I would like to raise a poll, like, do we really think that is this webinar necessary or not? I'd like to ask the members and the participant to vote the poll. So hello Anaga ma'am.
Yes, tell me.
So ma'am, I'll hand over the floor to you for the training session, ma'am. And also I'd like the participants to raise the questions in the Q&A session with the full name. Once that session is completed, I would read out your questions to Anaga ma'am. Thank you.
Thank you, Pooja. I could see the poll that you just now conducted. It says not even 50% of attendees, they are saying that such kind of webinar or such kind of, we can say, the lecture or presentation is necessary. So half of the audience, I would like to say half of the population, I would relate it like that. Half of the population is saying that such kind of uh, orientation is not required. So here comes my job, wherein I have to tell, wherein I have to say, I have to convince why such kind of seminars, why such kind of lectures are necessary. So thank you, Exim, and thank you, ODEX, for conducting this seminar. As I said, I will be mentioning why such seminars, why such online as well as offline programs are necessary. So again, thank you very much that you have already understood the importance of the topic and you decided to conduct this particular lecture. I'm very happy to know that Himani Madam will be joining us, who is Deputy Commissioner of Customs. She is at a quite good post, wherein just now Sanjang Ma'am said that this is the industry wherein we really don't find ladies much. I am working in an industry, yes, wherein there are ladies. There was a time when there were no ladies, but now, yes, we do have High Court Justice, Lady High Court Justice, Lady Supreme Court Justice. Happy to know that even the customs, they are now having the ladies at their at a good post. So let me start with the presentation. Pooja, can you just tell me whether
Yes, ma'am.
it was shared? Can you see this now?
Yes, ma'am.
Yes, good. Right. So why this particular enactment?
Ma'am, sorry to interrupt. Can you make it full page because it is not that much visible.
It
There's
is full page.
option.
ये बाजू वाला
इनको कैसे बताऊं यहाँ से?
It is full page. I can't. I mean, it can't go beyond this now.
Okay, ma'am. That won't be an issue.
Yeah. So, commonly called this particular enactment PoSH, Protection of Women from Sexual Harassment at Workplace. Normally, we do know that this particular enactment is enacted in the year 2013. So, there is a misunderstanding that this particular topic came forward, or the government started with this particular topic for the first time in the year 2013. However, it is not the case. In fact, at from very beginning, we are taking steps. Our government was taking steps for this particular topic. It started rather the issue of sexual harassment at workplace. It is not faced only in India. ये जो problem है, ये problem सारी जगह पे है. This is internationally faced problem. US, UK, Germany, they periodically they do make public the figures as far as this particular issue is concerned, and therefore in 1979 at international level a convention has been adopted, that is the Convention on the Elimination of All Forms of Discrimination Against Women. Why this convention is important? Because just now as I said, हमारी जो गवर्नमेंट है, even in India, ये जो problem है, this problem was recognized not in the year 2013, but even before that. India is signatory to this particular convention. All over India, 189 nations they are signatories to this particular convention. We do have many laws. पहले से ही हमारे पास laws है जो cater करते हैं, जो solutions बताते हैं when it comes to the sexual harassment. लेकिन हाँ, for the first time this particular topic, sexual harassment at workplace, हमें sexual harassment दो चीजों में bifurcate करनी पड़ेगी. Sexual harassment at workplace and sexual harassment as such. Each and every lady, she undergoes sexual harassment of one or the other kind when she puts her leg outside the house. जब भी कभी वो घर से बाहर निकलती है, किसी भी चीज के लिए हो, वो चाहे पढ़ाई के लिए हो, वो चाहे जॉब के लिए हो, शॉपिंग के लिए हो, कुछ भी चीज हो, each and every lady, unfortunately, she faces this particular problem of sexual harassment. और इसीलिए मैंने बोला sexual harassment at workplace and sexual harassment, they are the two issues. As far as today's lecture is concerned, today's presentation is concerned, we are going to restrict ourselves for the sexual harassment at workplace. तो for the first time ये जो sexual harassment at workplace है, इंडिया में for the first time इसको publicity मिली, इंडिया में for the first time इसको क्या बोलते हैं हम लोग, रिकॉग्नाइज किया गया इन द ईयर 1997. और ये रिकॉग्निशन अनफॉर्चुनेटली गवर्नमेंट की तरफ से नहीं था. ये रिकॉग्निशन अनफॉर्चुनेटली था सुप्रीम कोर्ट, फॉर्चुनेटली था सुप्रीम कोर्ट की तरफ से. गवर्नमेंट को लेना चाहिए था लेकिन सुप्रीम कोर्ट ने लिया. मैं थोड़ी सी बैकग्राउंड बताती हूँ. एक्चुअली ये जो टॉपिक है ये बहुत वाइड है. मैं ये as far as possible मैं ये शॉर्ट करने वाली हूँ, इंपॉर्टेंट पॉइंट्स ही बताने वाली हूँ. तो 1997 फॉर द फर्स्ट टाइम सुप्रीम कोर्ट ने एक जजमेंट दिया। ये जजमेंट क्यों दिया, ये जो जजमेंट का बेस था, वो बेस क्या था, वो मैं पहले आपको बताती हूँ। एनीबडी हैज एनी आइडिया अबाउट दिस? किसी को मालूम है? Any idea about this?
No, ma'am.
So गौरी देवी, ये केस जो है, ये केस ओपन हुआ सुप्रीम कोर्ट में 1997 में बिकॉज ऑफ अ लेडी फ्रॉम अ विलेज। ये जो लेडी है गौरी देवी, शी इज विनर ऑफ नीरजा भानोत मेमोरियल अवार्ड फॉर एक्स्ट्राऑर्डिनरी करेज, कन्विक्शन एंड कमिटमेंट। क्या एक्स्ट्राऑर्डिनरी करेज, कन्विक्शन उन्होंने दिखाया, वो मैं बताती हूँ। वो शी वाज वर्किंग साथी इन रूरल डेवलपमेंट प्रोग्राम, आंगनवाड़ी सेविका जिसको बोलते हैं, तो साथी करके वो काम कर रही थी राजस्थान में। और she was spreading awareness against the child marriage. Because of her efforts, उसकी वजह से एक चाइल्ड मैरिज, एक बाल विवाह जो होने वाला था, उसने वो रुकवाया। हमें मालूम है राजस्थान वगैरह ये स्टेट्स कैसे हैं, वहां के जो जमींदार लोग हैं वो कैसे बर्ताव करते हैं। और एज आई सेड, सुप्रीम कोर्ट में ये केस पहुंची 1997 को। मैं जो स्टोरी बता रही हूँ वो उससे भी पहले की है, क्वाइट ओल्ड है ये स्टोरी। तो उस वक्त और ज्यादा खराब एनवायरनमेंट था राजस्थान में, और बिकॉज शी स्टॉप दैट पर्टिकुलर चाइल्ड मैरिज, और वो जो जमींदार लोग थे, वो जो माइटी पीपल थे, they didn't like her act and they gang raped her. They gang raped as a punishment of her work. Whatever she did as part of her job. उसने कुछ गलत नहीं किया था, पहली बात है। दूसरी बात ऐसी है, जो कुछ भी उसने किया वो उसका जॉब था। She was discharging her duties. And then what happened? Because the people, the offenders involved, they were mighty. उनके खिलाफ कुछ भी एक्शन नहीं लिया गया। लेकिन ये जो गौरी देवी है, वो गौरी देवी और उसके पति, उन्होंने जाने नहीं दिया ये जो चल रहा था। And they decided to fight till last. And then Vishakha is NGO. Vishakha helped her in her fight, in her battle up to the Supreme Court. And finally, in this particular case, Vishakha versus State of Rajasthan, Supreme Court gave some directions. Now, as I said, मैं bifurcate कर रही हूँ sexual harassment, routine sexual harassment and sexual harassment at workplace. ये जो sexual harassment गौरी देवी को हुआ, वो during her duty हुआ था, and therefore ये जो case law है, ये case law that refers to the sexual harassment at workplace. ये जो विशाखा केस है, कॉमनली उसे विशाखा केस ऐसे ही बोला जाता है। ये जो विशाखा केस है, उस केस में सुप्रीम कोर्ट ने गाइडलाइंस दिए। किस को गाइडलाइंस दिए? गाइडलाइंस गवर्नमेंट को दिए, गाइडलाइंस ऑर्गेनाइजेशंस को दिए, गाइडलाइंस एम्प्लॉयर्स को दिए। कौन से गाइडलाइंस दिए? जब भी आपके पास लेडी एम्प्लॉय है, तो उस लेडी एम्प्लॉय को प्रोटेक्ट करने के लिए आपको स्टेप्स लेने हैं, आपको कुछ मेजर्स लेने हैं। क्या मेजर्स लेने हैं? जो हमारे सर्विस रूल्स है, उस सर्विस रूल्स में आपको कुछ उसमें ऐड करना है। गवर्नमेंट को बोला गया, यू शुड हैव स्ट्रिंजेंट लॉज एंड रेगुलेशंस। सुप्रीम कोर्ट ने ऐसा बोला था। ऐसा कोई भी लॉ नहीं है, ऐसा कोई भी कायदा हमारे पास नहीं है जो इस सारी चीजों को रुकवा सके। तो सुप्रीम कोर्ट ने बहुत सारे डायरेक्शंस, मैंने जैसे बोला, गौरी देवी ने करेज दिखाया सुप्रीम कोर्ट तक जाने का। हुआ ऐसा, उन्होंने ये करेज दिखाया, इसलिए उन्होंने जो फाइट दी, उसके लिए उनको आउटकास्ट कर दिया गया। उनको उनका जो विलेज था, जो प्लेस ऑफ रेसिडेंस था, वहां से भी निकाल दिया गया। और इवन एज ऑन डेट वो जयपुर के आउटस्कर्ट्स में जयपुर में एक विलेज है भटेरी करके, वो विलेज के बाहर रहती है। वो शी इज नॉट स्टेइंग इन द विलेज, क्योंकि अभी भी उसको वहां का जो समाज है उन्होंने एक्सेप्ट नहीं किया. अभी भी शी इज बीन गिवन दैट पनिशमेंट फॉर टेकिंग दिस केस अप टू द सुप्रीम कोर्ट. एंड नाउ अभी वो जो है वो खुद एक एनजीओ चला रही है विद सपोर्ट ऑफ हर फैमिली. मैंने ये क्यों बोला, मैंने ये बैकग्राउंड क्यों बताई, क्योंकि हमें मालूम होना चाहिए ये जो एक्ट है ये क्यों नेसेसरी है. एक्ट तो आ गया है, तो अभी तो एक्ट आ गया है तो एक्ट आना है वो नेसेसरी है, ऐसा नहीं है. ये जो प्रेजेंटेशन है इस तरीके ऐसी जो लेक्चर्स है वो क्यों नेसेसरी है वो हमें देखना है. तो जैसे अभी जेंडर इनइक्वालिटी की बात की गई थी, आज भी हम लोग देखते हैं और पुराने जमाने में भी ये होता था. डिस्क्रिमिनेटरी ट्रीटमेंट, अनइक्वल ट्रीटमेंट दी जाती है एक लेडी को और एक पुरुष को. जो औरत है उसको कम सैलरी मिलेगी, उसको लेस जॉब अपॉर्चुनिटीज कम मिलेंगे. उसके बारे में हम सबको मालूम है, सुधा मूर्ति जी के बारे में जिन्होंने टाटा से डायरेक्टली कांटेक्ट किया था, बिकॉज जो फ्लोर जॉब का एड था उसमें उन्होंने लिखा था अ लेडी शुड नॉट अप्लाई. तो उस वक्त से आज तक हम लोगों ने बहुत, मतलब when it comes to a lady in a particular organization, if we think from that angle, yes, no doubt we have crossed many milestones. लेकिन ये milestones क्रॉस करते समय बाकी डिस्क्रिमिनेशन है, बाकी प्रॉब्लम्स है, उस प्रॉब्लम्स के साथ एक बहुत बड़ा प्रॉब्लम है, दैट इज सेक्सुअल हरासमेंट एट वर्क प्लेस. और इसलिए ये जो सेक्सुअल हरासमेंट एट वर्क प्लेस है उसको थोड़ा ज्यादा महत्व देना चाहिए, उसको थोड़ा ज्यादा इंपॉर्टेंस देना चाहिए. अभी भौरी देवी की जो केस मैंने आपको बोली वो भौरी देवी की केस रेप के बारे में थी. तो सेक्सुअल हरासमेंट के बारे में जब कभी भी हम लोग बोलते हैं तो सेक्सुअल हरासमेंट मतलब हमारे दिमाग में कुछ रेप ना होते हुए कुछ ऐसी सीरियस चीज आ जाती है, लेकिन नॉट नेसेसरी दैट ऑलवेज द थिंग हैज टू बी सीरियस. छोटे छोटे जो चीजें होती है वो भी सेक्सुअल हरासमेंट में आती है. कौन कौन से छोटी छोटी चीजें हैं? फिजिकल कॉन्टैक्ट एंड एडवांसेस, डिमांड और रिक्वेस्ट फॉर सेक्सुअल फेवर्स, मेकिंग सेक्सुअली कलर्ड रिमार्क्स, अभी जा रहा है आता जातोय का विचार, बिकॉज मगाचपर्यंत तुम्ही करतच नव्हते स्क्रोल, मी आता स्क्रोल केलं. Making sexually colored remarks, showing pornography or any other unwelcome physical, verbal or non-verbal conduct of sexual nature. इसलिए मैंने बोला rape is a very, what we can say, it's very offensive. वो बहुत सीरियस हो गया, लेकिन उस तक जाने की जरूरत ही नहीं है. कुछ छोटी छोटी चीजें होती है और इसलिए मैंने बोला हर एक औरत, यहाँ पर जो कोई भी मेल पार्टिसिपेंट्स आज है वो जाके अपने घर में जो कोई भी लेडीज है, बहन होगी, वाइफ होगी, माँ होगी, किसी से भी पूछ सकते हैं. जब भी कभी घर से बाहर कदम रखा जाता है तो कोई ना कोई सेक्सुअल हरासमेंट की जो एक्ट्स है, कोई ना कोई मूवमेंट है, उसको हर एक लेडी को फेस करना पड़ता है. इससे होता क्या है, दो चीजें होती है. अगर ये चीज घर में जाके बताते हो, बहुत घरों में ऐसा होता है, अगर स्कूल गोइंग गर्ल, कॉलेज गोइंग गर्ल, शी गोज टू हर हाउस एंड टेल्स अबाउट द सेक्सुअल हरासमेंट शी इज फेसिंग, घर के लोग बोलेंगे बंद कर दो स्कूल, बंद कर दो कॉलेज जाना. फर्स्ट रिएक्शन. सेकेंड रिएक्शन, अगर बाहर घर के बाहर किस ये आता है तो लोग बोलेंगे इसके ही कैरेक्टर में कुछ प्रॉब्लम है, यही कुछ एडवांसेस देती होगी, इसके कपड़े, इसका बिहेवियर है, बिकॉज ऑफ विच ऑल दोज थिंग्स आर हैपनिंग. इससे होता क्या है, एज आई सेड, स्कूल छूट जाता है, कॉलेज छूट जाता है. आगे जाके हम लोग जब एम्प्लॉयमेंट की बात करते हैं, बहुत बार मैंने मेरे खुद के जान पहचान में ऐसे औरत ऐसी लेडीज है, आई नो सच लेडीज पर्सनली who have quit their job because of the sexual harassment at their workplace. So not only her career gets spoiled, not only she loses her job, but even the industry loses a good worker. It is not necessary that a lady worker is not going to be a good worker. हमें मालूम है, we have seen the lady prime minister, we have seen lady president. Right now we do have the first Adivasi lady president. So we know that ladies, they can do their job with all the sincerity and they can excel in the job. So ये जो है उनका जो excellence है, ladies का जो excellence है, उसका फायदा ultimately जाके होने वाला है उनके industry को, उनके company को, वो नहीं हो रहा है. One thing. Another thing is, कभी ऐसा हो जाता है, there are few ladies, though they are going through the sexual harassment, they don't open up. Why they don't open up? Because उनको डर है उनकी जॉब चले जाएगी. अगर जॉब चली जाती है तो it might happen. Some of the ladies, yes, they can afford to lose the job, but some of the ladies, they can't afford to lose the job also, because they need to earn money. So what happens is they are compelled to work in the same environment, and that affects, obviously, that is going to affect their performance affect हो जाने के वजह से, again, as I said, that is detrimental to her career. Not only to her career, that is detrimental for the growth of that particular organization also. And therefore this particular it is necessary that such kind of acts should be stopped. Now, as I said, why such kind of lectures, why such kind of presentations are required? As I said, गौरी देवी के बाद मैंने जैसे बोला, गौरी देवी was from the lower strata of the society. Now this is the case रूपन देवल बजाज versus कंवरपाल सिंघल. Again बहुत पुरानी केस है, 1995 की केस है. रूपन देवल बजाज, she herself was IPS. कितनी बड़ी पोस्ट थी उनकी, खुद की IPS थी वो. और ये कंवरपाल सिंघल, KPS गिल के नाम से वो मशहूर है. As far as work front is concerned, yes, he has done excellent work. But this lady, she filed a case of sexual harassment against this particular Mr. KPS Gill. This is commonly called as, or this case is famous as butt slapping case. एक पार्टी कॉल की थी और उस पार्टी में this KPS Gill, he slapped butts of Rupan Deol Bajaj, and therefore that is called as he pat the Rupan Deol Bajaj, and therefore this is called as butt slap case. So ये जो रूपन देवल बजाज है, ये जो लेडी है, उनके ऊपर भी बहुत सारा प्रेशर डाला गया था टू टेक बैक द केस, बट शी आल्सो डिडंट अलाउ दैट टू हैपन. उन्होंने भी सुप्रीम कोर्ट तक केस लेके गए वो भी, एंड देन शी गॉट द वर्डिक्ट इन हर फेवर. सो इससे क्या दिखता है हमें, लोअर स्ट्राटा की औरत हो, मतलब मैनुअल वर्क करने वाली हो, या तो फिर आईपीएस अधिकारी हो, मैनेजरियल लेवल की हो, कोई भी हो, sexual harassment has become a common phenomenon. Not has, it was a common phenomenon, and nowadays it is increasing. Then came Medha Kotwal Lele's case. Again, why she filed a case? This was a case against the government, because in spite of the guidelines given by Supreme Court in Vishakha's case, the government didn't take any steps for the protection of women. The government didn't take any steps to include some remedies in the service rules, and therefore Medha Kotwal Lele, she was required to file a case again in the Bombay High Court. In spite of all those judgments, in spite of all those happenings, in spite of being signatory to CEDAW, the convention which I just now mentioned, nothing was happening, and later we got this particular enactment in the year 2013, that is the sexual harassment of women at workplace. क्या है objectives, क्या है इस act के? Objective, first objective is prevention, second objective is protection, and then comes redressal. तो prevention के ऊपर इस act में जो है वो emphasis दिया गया है. The major objective is prevention. Or if we want to prevent such acts, then what we have to do is we have to spread awareness about whatever is happening. Why is this happening? This is happening because from very beginning, a lady has always been considered as an object. She has never been given a status of a human being. उसको कोई human being, उसको कोई क्या बोलते हैं हम लोग, एक person की तरह से तरीके से कोई recognize ही नहीं करता है. She has always been treated as an object. तो ये जो mindset है, ये mindset change होना जरूरी है. And this mindset is not at all going to change overnight. ये कोई मिरेकल नहीं है ना, आज इनैक्टमेंट लाया, आज लॉ इनैक्ट किया, पास किया और कल को जाके एकदम से माइंडसेट चेंज हो गया. दैट इज नॉट गोइंग टू हैपन बिकॉज माइंडसेट, व्हाई अ पर्सन हैज अ पर्टिकुलर माइंडसेट, it is because of his background, it is because of educational background, it is because of social background, it is because of family background. तो ये सारी चीजें जो इन्फ्लुएंस करती है एक आदमी को, ये सारा इन्फ्लुएंस निकाल के उसके मन में उसका माइंडसेट अगर बदलना है तो वी नीड टू हैव सच काइंड ऑफ sessions, and the act also says the same thing, and that is why I said that I'm going to tell during the session why such kind of lectures are necessary. And the act says, I will be going to that particular part. ऐसे जो lectures है, ऐसे जो orientation program है, ये बार बार होने चाहिए. एक बार कर दिया खत्म, ऐसा नहीं है. This has to be done again and again because as I said, mindset has to be changed. कौन सा mindset change करना है? मेरे साथ जो औरत काम कर रही है, वो औरत और मैं, when it comes to a man, वो मैन को ऐसा that man should consider a lady who is working with him, maybe his subordinate, maybe his superior, whoever she is, he should treat her as a human being and not as an object. बहुत बार ऐसा होता है because of the male ego, the men, they are not able to digest the fact that a lady is heading them, and that also turns many a times, that also gives rise to the incidences of sexual harassment. So all those things, they have to be stopped, and that comes under the prevention. Now, prevention is one of the objectives. Another objective is protection. Why protection? And who is supposed to give this protection? As I said, mindset of employers, men employers, that is not going to change as a miracle. एक रात में होने वाली बात वो नहीं है. तो ये माइंडसेट चेंज होने तक जो कुछ भी होगा, उस बीच प्रोटेक्शन देना है. और ये प्रोटेक्शन किसको, कौन देने वाला है? ये जो रेस्पॉन्सिबिलिटी है टू गिव प्रोटेक्शन, दैट इज ऑन द एम्प्लॉयर. जो कोई भी ओनर है कंपनी का, जो कोई भी ओनर है एस्टैब्लिशमेंट का, लेट इट बी कंपनी, लेट इट बी पार्टनरशिप फर्म, लेट इट बी प्रोप्राइटरी, लेट इट बी गवर्नमेंट ऑर्गेनाइजेशन, let it be college, school, university, hospital, whatever it is, उसके जो head है, all those heads, they are responsible to see to it that ladies are given protection. और अगर वो ये protection नहीं देते, protection कैसे देना है वो act में बताया गया है. I'm going to deal with that also. अगर वो protection नहीं देते हैं, जैसे मैंने बोला, prevention के लिए for the अवेयरनेस लेक्चर्स होने चाहिए. अनदर ऑब्जेक्टिव ऑफ लेक्चर इज, ये लेक्चर की वजह से ये जो अवेयरनेस आने वाला है, ये अवेयरनेस हेड इंस्टीट्यूशन के जो हेड है उनके अवेयरनेस के लिए भी इम्पोर्टेंट है. लीव असाइड द प्रिवेंशन, जो हमारा जो एक माइंडसेट है ना, व्हेन वी आर एट अ लॉस, हम लोग एकदम से जग जाते हैं, अरे ये क्या चल रहा है. तो ये जो प्रोटेक्शन है, इफ एट ऑल द हेड ऑफ इंस्टीट्यूट, इफ एट ऑल द ओनर ऑफ इंस्टीट्यूट fails to give this protection, then in that case हमारे ये जो लिंक आई है उसके इंट्रोडक्शन में दिया गया है, द फाइन प्रिस्क्राइब्ड इज 50,000 रुपीज. अगर रिपीट होता है तो फाइन डबल हो जाएगा, वगैरह वगैरह, लाइसेंस कैंसिल हो जाएगी. ये सारा एक्ट में दिया ही हुआ है. बट फॉर योर इंफॉर्मेशन, इन अ वेरी रिसेंट केस, in the year 2018 or 19, Madhya Pradesh government has given the compensation of 25 lakh rupees to a lady because a proper protection was not given by the paid by whatever company she was working with. So ये जो एक्ट में लिखा हुआ है 50,000 rupees, हमें लगता है हाँ क्या है 50,000 rupees, ठीक है. It is not restricted to 50,000 rupees. One thing, it can go even into crores, depending on the facts and circumstances of the case. The court will decide this particular compensation. The court is going to decide this particular amount, and therefore it is very necessary that the employers, the heads of the institution, they know the provisions of this particular act. Protection देना है तो protection कैसे देना है? That is one objective of the another objective of the act. And the last objective is redressal. Prevention के हम लोग efforts कर रहे हैं, protection दे रहे हैं, उसके बावजूद भी कुछ ना कुछ होता है, then in that case the head of the institution, it should give redressal to the victim. So preamble of the act, as I said, act to provide protection against sexual harassment of women at workplace and for the prevention and redressal of complaints of sexual harassment and for connect matters connected therewith. तो इसमें ये जो workplace ये जो शब्द है ना, that is really very important. That word is important. Another thing is who can file a complaint. So all those things it is necessary to understand. Who is employer? Just now I said head of the department, manager, supervisor, committee who is responsible for the administration of policies. All these people who are at a high level, managerial level, they will be considered as employee. One thing. Now this enactment, as this enactment is for the sexual harassment at workplace. Now we are talking about office and organization, but we know the maid servants who come to our place, who come to our home, they are also working. वो जब हमारे घर में काम के लिए आते हैं तो हमारा घर is a workplace for them, and therefore this act also helps a domestic worker. अगर घर में काम करते समय when working as a maid, if at all a domestic worker she faces any problem, then in that case she can also file a complaint. Employee कौन है? हर एक जो कोई भी मतलब कॉन्ट्रैक्ट बेसिस पे हो, रेगुलर हो, टेम्पररी हो, एडहॉक हो, डेली वेजेस पे हो, अप्रेंटिस हो, all those they will be covered under the employee. As I said, workplace, this particular word is very important क्योंकि बहुत सारे केसेस में ये जो एम्प्लॉयर्स हैं उन्होंने स्टैंड लिया था, they took a defense that जो कुछ भी हुआ वो बाहर हुआ, हमारे ऑफिस में कुछ भी नहीं हुआ. तो वर्कप्लेस का जो डेफिनेशन है, ये वर्कप्लेस का डेफिनेशन एक्सटेंड किया गया है. As I said in Rupandev Bajaj case, whatever happened, it happened in a party. It didn't happen at the office, in the office premises. So what can be considered as workplace? Government organizations, that is offices, organized, unorganized sectors, private sectors. So wherever office premises, no doubt that is going to be considered in the definition of workplace. What is important is this definition has been extended to what? Office parties. So if office parties are there and something happens during that particular party, the employer can't say मेरे ऑफिस में कुछ नहीं हुआ है. Even the place of office party, that will be considered as a workplace. Then offsites, outbound trainings, बहुत बार ऐसा होता है ट्रेनिंग के लिए भेजा जाता है एम्प्लॉइज को, and something happens outside the office premises during the training, then that also will be covered under the definition of workplace. Client meetings, अगर आपकी कोई एम्प्लॉय है जो क्लाइंट मीटिंग के लिए गई है, then that client meeting might not have happened in your office premises, but that also will include in the definition of workplace. ऑफिस के पर्पज से जो ट्रैवल है, और इसलिए बहुत सारी जो MNCs है, the MNCs which work at the during the night, और कहाँ पर भी हमें मालूम है कैब्स होती है, पिकअप ड्रॉप की जो सर्विस है, तो वो जो पिकअप एंड ड्रॉप है ना, ट्रैवल फॉर द ऑफिस पर्पज इज ऑल्सो अ वर्क प्लेस, एंड देयरफॉर इट इज MNC जो है वो MNCs हायर करती है कैब्स, और उनके लिए भी उनके सेशंस होते हैं, या तो फिर MNCs पॉलिसी रखती है travel is not going to be our responsibility, because whatever incidences they have happened during this travel for the office purpose, that has also been covered in the definition of workplace. Now, who is aggrieved woman? As I said, कोई भी औरत जिसके साथ ये घटना घटती है, that can be considered as a aggrieved woman. Age is immaterial. बहुत बार ऐसा होता है, the people they do say like अगर कोई aged औरत है तो बोलेंगे इसको कौन हरास करेगा, and that to sexual harassment, impossible. That is not the fact. The statistics show, the research show that a lady aged 60 years, 65 years, 70 years, they are also subjected to sexual harassment. बहुत बार even above 65 rape के cases फाइल हुए हैं. So age is immaterial. A lady, a woman of any age, whether employed or not, this is very important. हम लोग बात कर रहे हैं sexual harassment at workplace. Now, sometimes it might happen that we don't have a lady in our office. I'm sorry. Or sometimes it might happen that the people from our office, they are not behaving badly with their co-workers, but a lady comes to the office, she is on visit to the office, and that lady suffers from the sexual harassment. Then that lady, ऐसी जो औरत है, she is also covered in this particular definition of aggrieved woman. And therefore, when are we considering the definition of aggrieved woman? A woman of any age, regular employee, temporary, that I have already mentioned, all that will be covered in this particular definition. As I said, what is going to be the sexual harassment? Physical contact and advances. Not necessary. Actually, physical contact and advances, no doubt, they are direct act, and therefore they will be covered in the sexual harassment. However, there is a recent judgment which says that physical contact is not at all necessary. Even the verbal taunt, that is sexual harassment. The act itself makes a provision for that. ये जो whatever slides you are looking at right now, ये जो सारे words है that are from the act, PoSH Act से मैंने ये सारा निकाला हुआ है. So physical contact and advances, a demand or request for sexual favors, sexually colored remarks. Sexually colored remarks, this is like, मतलब क्या है sexually colored remarks? Many a times it does happen. बहुत बार हम लोग ऐसा देखते हैं. A lady is sitting in a corner. 4 दोस्त हैं जो दूसरे टेबल पे बैठे हुए हैं. आपस में उनकी बात चल रही है. Whatever discussion is going on amongst themselves. However, the topic of their discussion is making that particular lady who is sitting next to them uncomfortable. Then that also will be considered as sexual harassment. They are not supposed to discuss a topic at such a loud voice, or they should take care that a lady who is sitting next to them, she should not feel awkward, she should not feel embarrassed listening to whatever they are talking about. And therefore, taunting जो होता है, remarks जो होते हैं, all that will be covered under the sexual harassment. Showing pornography, that is sexual harassment, no doubt about it. Any unwelcome physical, verbal or non-verbal conduct of sexual nature. This is very important. अगर हम लोग ये act देखते हैं, if at all we see the framing, if at all we see the wording of this particular enactment, they have not put the definitions that, or rather they have not used the straight jacket formula. ऐसा हुआ तो sexual harassment है, ऐसा हुआ तो नहीं है, ऐसा नहीं है. Any unwelcome. So बहुत सारा interpretation हम लोग इसमें कर सकते हैं, because as I said, all those acts, all that feeling, that also is a part and parcel of a person's background. We are from the metropolitan city. We are staying in Pune, for that matter Mumbai, if at all we do consider, then we do find यहाँ के जो relations है between the employees, lady employee and gents employee, that is very friendly, बहुत friendly है. कॉलेज गोइंग जो बॉयज है, गर्ल्स है, बहुत फ्रेंडली वो होते हैं. लेकिन अगर कोई छोटे गांव से मान लो there is a lady employee who has come from a remote village, who has come from a small village, and employee who is born and brought up in Pune, he behaves in the same way, he behaves in the similar manner with that lady. He might feel, she might get that particular behavior as offensive. It might happen that that another lady working in the same office, working in the same organization, she's okay with that behavior. However, this lady who comes from the village, she might not be okay with that particular behavior. And all those aspects, they have been covered in this particular enactment. Quid pro quo is for that. That is, if you are going to give me this, obviously, sexual favors, not necessarily always sexual favors, even going for a date, मेरे साथ डेट पे चलो. डेट पे जाने के बाद नॉट नेसेसरी दैट देयर विल बी अ सेक्सुअल एडवांस. लेकिन अगर मुझे डेट पे ही नहीं जाना है, बट इफ आई डोंट गो फॉर अ डेट, देन माय confidential report, that is that might be in a trouble, my salary hike might be in a trouble, my promotion might be in a trouble. Or if I do this, then even though I'm not deserving, I will get salary hike, I will get promotion. So this kind of treatment is called as quid pro quo treatment, and this is hostile work environment. So as I said, sexual favors, not necessary that they should be in a direct words, even the indirect suggestion, that will be considered as a sexual harassment. Taunting, मैंने पहले ही बोला. Then jokes, चार लोग आपस में बैठे हुए हैं, लेडीज भी है, जेंट्स भी है, and they are cracking jokes, and those jokes, they are making a lady awkward or embarrassed. That is also a sexual harassment. Then gender based insults, because she is a lady, ये lady है, ये ऐसे ही करने वाली है, that will also be covered under the sex. If that is going to be the sexist remark, then that will be covered under the sexual harassment. Unwelcome sexual overtones, touching or brushing against any part of the body. The court has said that touching is also not necessary. Touching to a body, direct contact with the body is also not necessary, even if a touch is to the cloth. मानो, now I will give you an example. दुपट्टा, हमारे पास हम लोग दुपट्टा लेते हैं, या तो फिर साड़ी होती है, तो वो दुपट्टे को भी टच किया, if at all दुपट्टा is held in a hand, then that also will amount to the sexual harassment. Pornography, as I said, is going to be the sexual harassment. So as I said, sexual harassment is a subjective experience. मैंने जो अभी बोला, एक a girl born and brought up in Pune might not feel offended with a particular act. However, a girl who has come from a small village might feel awkward, might feel offended. And therefore, this is subjective experience. Impact and not the intent matters. And therefore, a male employee cannot say, अरे मेरे मन में तो कुछ भी नहीं था, मैंने तो ऐसे ही friendly किया, ये किया, वो किया. Not allowed. What she felt, that is important. And therefore, it is very necessary to take care while behaving in any weird manner with the co-employee. तो ड्यूटीज क्या है एम्प्लॉयर के ऊपर? मैंने जैसे बोला, ये जो प्रोटेक्शन है, प्रोटेक्शन एम्प्लॉयर को देना चाहिए. सो प्रोवाइड सेफ वर्किंग एनवायरनमेंट, ऑर्गेनाइज वर्कशॉप्स एंड अवेयरनेस प्रोग्राम्स. मैंने जैसे बोला, एक ही प्रोग्राम लेके छोड़ना नहीं है. पीरियडिकली अगेन एंड अगेन सेंसिटाइजिंग प्रोग्राम्स, अवेयरनेस प्रोग्राम्स ऑर्गेनाइज करने हैं. इंटरनल कंप्लेंट्स कमिटी बनानी है. इंटरनल कंप्लेंट्स कमिटी के लिए भी ओरिएंटेशन प्रोग्राम्स ऑर्गेनाइज करने हैं. ये जो सी है, यहाँ पर मैंने लिखा है आईसीसी, ये सी मैंने रेड कलर किया है, बिकॉज नाउ दैट कंप्लेंट, द वर्ड कंप्लेंट हैज बीन रिमूव्ड. नाउ इट्स ओनली इंटरनल कमिटी. व्हाट इज सिग्निफिकेंस ऑफ दैट, आई विल डिस्कस लेटर. जो वर्कप्लेस है, वर्कप्लेस में डिस्प्ले करना है कॉन्सिक्वेंसेस. पिनल मीनिंग देयर बाय, हमारे पास आईपीसी है, इंडियन पिनल कोड. तो ये जो सारी चीजें मैं अभी आपको बोल रही हूँ, ये जो एक्ट है हमारा पॉश उसमें दी गई है, अपार्ट फ्रॉम दैट आईपीसी में भी दी गई है। पॉश माइट बी रिस्ट्रिक्टेड फॉर द 50,000 रुपीज और लाइसेंस कैंसिलिंग, लेकिन अगर कंप्लेंट आईपीसी में जाती है, पुलिस में जाती है कंप्लेंट, तो इम्प्रिजनमेंट भी हो सकती है। सो ये जो सारी चीजें हैं वो डिस्प्ले करनी है एट द वर्क प्लेस, एट द office, so that the people should get knowledge about what the law is, and the person is not supposed to behave in a particular manner. Then another thing what the employer is supposed to do is, अगर कोई कंप्लेंट आती है तो इंक्वायरी के दरमियान असिस्ट करना है वो लेडी को। बहुत बार क्या होता है, वो लेडी को निकाल दिया जाता है जॉब से। That is not a done thing, that is not allowed. As I said, in a very recent case, 25 lakh rupees has been given as a compensation. May go into crores of rupees also depending on the facts and circumstances, and therefore cooperation देना है। अगर कोई कंप्लेंट आती है तो सर्विस रूल्स जो है हमारे, उस सर्विस रूल्स में प्रोविजन करना है। अगर कोई आदमी पकड़ा जाता है फॉर मिसकंडक्ट, सेक्सुअल हैरेसमेंट की मिसकंडक्ट के लिए, तो क्या होगा, उसका प्रमोशन रोक दिया जाएगा, उसका सैलरी हाइक रोक दिया जाएगा, उसको सस्पेंड किया जाएगा, उसको निकाल दिया जाएगा। वॉट एवर इट इज, दैट शुड बी मेंशन्ड इन द सर्विस रूल्स, दैट इज रियली वेरी इंपॉर्टेंट। देन इफ एट ऑल, एज आई सेड, ये एक्ट है, उसके बावजूद पुलिस के पास भी कंप्लेंट हो सकती है। So if that lady feels that no, she wants to go to a police, then employer is supposed to help that particular lady to reach the police to file the complaint. Then ये जो सारा है, now wherever the organization has more than 10 employees, अगर 10 से ज्यादा employees है तो उस organization में IC, that is internal committee, previously it was called as internal complaints committee, एस्टैब्लिश करनी है। 10 से कम अगर है तो लोकल कमिटी है जो गवर्नमेंट एस्टैब्लिश करने वाली है, उनके पास ये केसेस जाएंगे। जहां जहां पर इंटरनल कमिटी है, वो इंटरनल कमिटी का जो रिपोर्ट है वो डिस्ट्रिक्ट ऑफिसर को देना है। नॉट ओनली दैट, इंटरनल कमिटी का जो रिपोर्ट है, कितने केसेस आए, कितने डिस्पोज ऑफ हुए, ये सारा ऑडिट में भी डिस्क्लोज करना पड़ता है। आईसीसी जो इंटरनल कंप्लेंट्स कमिटी है, उसकी हेड लेडी होनी चाहिए हु इज वर्किंग एट अ हाई लेवल, सीनियर लेवल। अगर सीनियर लेवल की लेडी एम्प्लॉय नहीं है तो कोई भी लेडी एम्प्लॉय चलेगी। कंपलसरी एक जो मेंबर है वो मेंबर आउटसाइडर होना चाहिए। दैट मेंबर शुड नॉट बी फ्रॉम द ऑर्गेनाइजेशन। That is very important. The tenure of the committee is going to be 3 years. Similarly, government is supposed to have the local committee. District officer, as I said, as on date collector is the district officer. जहां पर ICC है, internal complaints committee है, उनको 30th of April से पहले रिपोर्ट्स सबमिट करने हैं। प्रोसीजर क्या है कंप्लेंट की, कोई भी अगर कंप्लेंट आती है तो विदिन 3 months ऑफ द इंसिडेंट कंप्लेंट फाइल करनी है। ये जो पीरियड है ये बढ़ाया जा सकता है इफ एट ऑल रिक्वायर्ड, इफ एट ऑल कमिटी फील सो। अगर जेन्युइन कोई रीजन है तो दैट कैन बी डन। After the complaint is filed, the complaint can be amicably settled. Amicably settled meaning thereby कंसिलिएशन किया जा सकता है। अगर कोई ट्रिवियल कंप्लेंट है, बहुत सीरियस नहीं है, तो समझ देके कुछ क्या बोलते हैं हम लोग, अपोलॉजी लेके ये सब कुछ खत्म कर सकती है आईसीसी। लेकिन अगर वो जो एक्टिव लेडी है, इफ एट ऑल शी सेज, it seems that slides are not moving. I will stop it and again share the slide.
Yes, ma'am. Actually, for the slides have stuck. Now it is moving. It is now come to procedure. F5.
Press F5.
Okay, so is the slide visible now?
No, ma'am.
No?
No.
Is it visible now?
No, ma'am.
No?
Just a moment. Ma'am, there's a share button down and there share screen. Yeah, ma'am, it is visible now.
It is visible. Okay. Okay, so if that particular lady is ready for such a kind of settlement, then settlement can be done. Otherwise, the internal complaints committee, it should have the inquiry. जैसे कोर्ट में इंक्वायरी की जाती है, वैसे ही कोर्ट में इंक्वायरी की जाती है. A lady who wants to file a complaint, she should file a complaint. She should give 6 copies of the complaint. And that complaint should mention the incidents, the date of incidents, what had happened, the name of the complainant, name of the respondent, location, kahan par hua, what is the working relationship, and if at all there are any witnesses, then their names. Any agreed woman can make a complaint, and if she is not able to make a complaint, then her relative can make a complaint. Within 7 days of the complaint, the respondent should be given a copy, and within 10 days, the respondent should give his statement, what he wants to say, and then the inquiry should be conducted. किसी भी सूरत में, let it be complainant, let it be respondent, legal practitioner will not be allowed for them to be represented. और 90 days के बीच में ये complaint जो है वो dispose of करनी है. During the continuation of the inquiry, the lady who has filed a complaint, she is entitled to get a leave of 3 months. अगर जिसके खिलाफ उसने कंप्लेंट की है, if that person is her immediate boss, then she should not report him because she has filed complaint against him. So it is not fair that she is required to report that particular person, or that person is writing her confidential report. So all those things have to be considered by the employer, and that is why I'm again and again saying why this is important for the employer. If employer fails to do any of this, then in that case employer will be held responsible along with the respondent. जिसने the person who had done the bad behavior, he is responsible, no doubt about it, but the employer will be considered responsible because he couldn't stop it, one thing, and whatever happened after that, he didn't help that particular lady. And I have already mentioned what could be the consequences of it. Allegations prove होते हैं तो written apology. No, ये जो सारी चीजें हैं, apology, reprimand, holding promotion, it depends on the seriousness of the act. As I said, कुछ trivial act है तो apology warning will do. First time किया है, apology warning will do. लेकिन trivial acts, if at all complaints are being lodged again and again, then we can't say that it's a trivial. So depending on the nature of the act complaint of, if it's very serious, then termination from the job also can be done. Other false complaint, even very recently, Bombay High Court has also said this, that false complaints are being filed just as a revenge, just as a vengeance. So if at all a lady has filed a false or malicious complaint, then whatever can happen with the respondent, मतलब respondent को प्रमोशन नहीं दिया जाएगा, उसका सैलरी हाइक नहीं होगा, उसको एम्प्लॉयमेंट से निकाल दिया जाएगा, ये जो सारे रेस्पोंडेंट के बारे में है, रॉन्ग डूअर के बारे में है, सेम कैन बी मेड एप्लीकेबल टू अ लेडी हु हैज फाइल्ड दिस. ये जो इंटरनल कंप्लेंट्स कमिटी है, उसको उसके जो प्रोसीडिंग्स है, नेम ऑफ द कंप्लेनेंट, नेम ऑफ द रेस्पोंडेंट, नेम ऑफ द विटनेसेस हैज टू बी केप्ट कॉन्फिडेंशियल. कॉम्पेंसेशन जो देना है वो लेडी को, वो कैसे डिटरमाइन करना है, उसका मेंटल ट्रॉमा, पेन, सफरिंग, अगर she has lost any career opportunity because of that incident, then that has to be taken into consideration. If the act was serious and she was required to take medical treatment, then those medical expenses also should be taken into consideration. आईसीसी को एनुअल रिपोर्ट बनाने हैं, कितने कंप्लेंट्स आए, कितने कंप्लेंट्स डिस्पोज ऑफ किए, कितने कंप्लेंट्स पेंडिंग है, ये रिपोर्ट उनको देना है एडमिनिस्ट्रेटिव कमिटी, मतलब हेड जो है ऑर्गेनाइजेशन को, उनको. और ये सारा जैसे मैंने बोला डिस्ट्रिक्ट ऑफिसर को देना है. wherever it's a private company under the Companies Act, they are supposed to mention it in their audit also. appeal, whatever the ICC, whatever finding ICC has given, Internal Complaints Committee has given, उसके खिलाफ appeal हो सकता है, if at all the person aggrieved wants to file the appeal. So penalties क्या है वो तो हमने पहले ही देखा है, so I'm not going to repeat the penalties. और क्या क्या है, as I said, companies को ये compulsory किया है audit report में देने का. Under the Prevention and Corruptions Act, अगर sexual advances की demand की जाती है तो now that will be considered as a bribery. Government has initiated one more step. There is going to be a she box. Ministry of Women and Child Development उनके वेबसाइट पे ये she box होगी. अगर कोई लड़की है, अगर कोई lady employee है who is not comfortable in filing complaint even with the ICC, then in that case she can lodge complaint with the she box. As I said, education and awareness is the key. Awareness is more important. Other elements laws, हमारा जो constitution है, that has already given us a lady equality and right against discrimination as well as equal opportunity of employment. So those, they do cover this particular aspect. Then as I mentioned, Indian Penal Code, ये सारे sections है Indian Penal Code के. जैसे मैंने बोला, PoSH में जो consequences बताए गए हैं वो ज्यादा serious नहीं है, लेकिन Indian Penal Code के consequences जो है वो serious है, उसमें जेल भी हो सकती है. So we do have Indian Penal Code. Now, very interesting aspect of this is, it might happen. See, this is sexual harassment at a workplace vis-a-vis a lady. बहुत बार ऐसा होता है, not only a lady, even a man is subjected to the sexual harassment. So this particular enactment, when we talk of this particular enactment, this enactment does not give any relief to a man. However, there are many MNCs, because when we talk of initially only I said that at international level this problem is there, and then for US laws, UK laws, their policies are gender neutral policies, and therefore in India also many organizations, they do have their policies, PoSH policies, which are gender neutral policies. So though this particular enactment does not give any relief to a man, your companies, your organizations should make the provisions so that your policies are gender neutral. One thing. Another very interesting part is, very recently the Calcutta High Court has given this particular judgment. A complaint hai, a lady is filing a complaint against a man. Is it always lady versus man? The answer is no. It can be lady versus lady also. Because we know our society is changing, and it might happen that a girl is facing sexual harassment at the hands of another girl. And therefore, the High Court has said that this act will cover such kind of incidences. What is important is the complainant, the victim should be lady. Respondent, the other person, the offender can be a man, can be a woman also. When I say a gender neutral policy, I mentioned about a man and a woman. However, now we know that transgenders are there and gender neutral people are also there. And therefore, we need to protect their rights also. Though PoSH is silent as on date as far as these aspects are concerned, at organization level, we should take care of this, because we do have other enactments. As I said, IPC hai, constitution hai, jo as far as such incidences are concerned where the victim is not lady, those enactments, they will play a vital role. As I said, ये बहुत wide topic है. I have tried to cover it. I have just informed the important pointers only. One more thing which I should mention over here. As I said, now it's not going to be Internal Complaints Committee. Now it is called as Internal Committee. Why it is Internal Committee? Because somewhere the legislature wants this particular committee to be more active. Instead of working only after getting the complaints, this committee, and now it is going to be the Internal Committee. So instead of working after getting the complaints, committee can work, the committee can look into the matter even on their own. whenever something is happening in the institution. Now, why, as I said, from very beginning, I have said why this enactment was necessary. One more objective of this particular enactment was, ऐसा होता है, a lady, she does not want to reach police officers, police authorities. As I said, कुछ छोटे छोटे चीजें होती है, स्मॉल इंसिडेंसेस होते हैं, इतना भी नहीं होता है कि डायरेक्टली जाओ और पुलिस के पास कंप्लेंट करो, लेकिन whatever is happening is disturbing, and that also should be stopped. And to give the relief to a lady in such a kind of incidences, there should be internals committee. If internals committee is not there, I'm repeating it again, if internal committee is not there, then the local committee, which has been organized by the government, which has been established by the government, that will take care of the complaints. So I'm repeating it again. Awareness, sensitization is more important because the act aims towards prevention. Act does not aim towards redressal. Redressal comes at last when are we reading about the preamble. One interesting part over here, when we talk of sexual harassment, is it going to be a harassment because of sex? I mean, see, sexual harassment with a sexual tone is something different, and harassment because of a particular sexual orientation is different. I'll give you an example. Height of a podium. Normally, height of a podium in an organization is such that male जो men है वो थोड़े ज्यादा हाइटेड होते हैं, तो उनके हिसाब से वो पोडियम की हाइट होती है. So whenever a lady is using that podium, it becomes difficult for her to use that particular podium. So will that be considered as sexual harassment? In some cases in US, the US courts have said that yes, this is sexual harassment. Though it is not sexually oriented harassment, it is harassment because of a particular sex orientation. As on date in India, our courts have not gone to that extent. There are various judgments of various high courts which say that when are you talking about harassment, if you want to invoke provisions of this enactment, then it is essentially the harassment has to be sexually overtoned harassment and not the harassment because of a sex or other kind of harassment. For other kind of harassment, yes, there are other remedies, you can avail those remedies. So this is overall idea about the PoSH. As I said, I have discussed the important aspects of it. Considering the time limit, I'm restricting myself. I'm stopping this particular lecture from my end. If at all there are any queries, then in that case, we can discuss about it.
Thank you so much, ma'am, for guiding us so much regarding this sexual awareness. Before jumping into Q&A session, I would like to thank Himani ma'am for coming and attending the webinar session. Hello, ma'am. Ma'am, personally, first I'd like to thank you so much being a woman. I am so proud that you are at the position like Deputy Commissioner in Customs Pune. So we are really proud of that, and we really thank you for attending the session, ma'am. Ma'am, I would like to ask you a question. It's like, what was the motivation behind you selecting this field? Because there are mostly we have seen that customs has always been a male oriented field. So what was the motivation for you selecting this field, ma'am?
Actually, first of all, I would like to thank all of you to you are going out and educating people. Actually, sexual harassment is a very delicate and very, I would say, very sensitive topic on which not even women has to be educated, but all male also has to be educated. So I would like to thank the PoSH for doing this exercise, and also all the speakers, they spoke really well about the awareness and the rights of the women. So being a female officer, I would say that this has been a challenging field for all of us. but unless and until we go out, we cannot expect the change. So we have to be the change to expect the change from the society. Plus, we have been blessed that the seniors I have got in the custom formation have always been supportive, and they do not discriminate on the basis of gender on for allocating any kind of duty. So I have done the preventive part also. I have done the narcotics prevention also, and have been on the field for 2 nights in a row. So that is how we have been. So it's not about only females have to understand their rights, but yes, the male officers also have to be supportive, have to give an environment in which all the female officers can strive for excellence as well. So for me, the motivation was that unless and until I'll be there, I cannot expect the change to come on its own. So I wanted to be I would say, a element of change, so that I can ask other people to come and join the department and be the change they want to see in the world.
Okay. Ma'am, you are running an committee, Vishaka committee in customs. Ma'am, can you brief us more about that committee and exactly what are the challenges and how women are facing issues, and do they really come up and open up their self?
Actually, it's more about a psychological effect rather than any monetary benefits, which Madam has already explained that there were certain case laws regarding this. So people are more of psychological constraint, that whom to ask and why to ask, whether it will affect my reputation in the department. It's not only about your promotion or your appraisals all the time. It's about your reputation as well, that people would like to see you with a lens. So there were challenges. So what we have done in our Pune custom is we have started meeting on 25th of every month with all the women officers in Pune customs. Even if they are not available physically, we have given them the option to join electronically, so that they feel comfortable. Unless and until they are comfortable with the committee, they will not come out and express themselves. So that is what we have done. Plus, we have told them that the other members also not to be judgmental. So there is a very thin line between what I feel comfortable about and what other do not feel comfortable about, right? So I can be comfortable sitting with a colleague sharing a cup of tea, but some of the women officers may not be comfortable enough to be in a closed space in one room in which only she is sharing a cup of tea with any male counterpart. So everybody has to decide their own I would say the own sphere of comfort, and we should not be judgmental as a committee head or committee member that sirf chai hi to piya tha. So we cannot say like this. So everybody has their own comfort zone. We should respect that, and we should think by putting ourselves in their shoes about their background, about from where this thought process is coming from. So we need to understand that why she is not feeling comfortable. It may be that she has some history about such incident, or she comes from a background which is very restrictive. So we need to understand. We cannot just pass on the comments and dismiss any kind of complaints on just the basis that it was just a cup of tea. We don't know that cup of tea, what interaction they had, or what went beyond what she cannot express. So we have faced the challenges, and in one of the cases we have to console her a lot of time to come out fully what has happened, because it is not just only in the office premise or office parties. It sometimes in our cases when you are going for an operation which takes 2 to 3 days. So while they are on operation, we have to ensure their security. So in that also we have to take care, all these steps should be taken. Plus sometimes this happens is that parking lot mein kuch hua. So we cannot just say ki parking lot is not our office, this thing. So we have to come into picture. For that we have put CCTVs all over in our offices, so that the women feel safe and they can just come and tell us ki madam, this place I have faced certain circumstances, so you can just see in the CCTV for yourself. So that is one step we are doing. But yes, we are open for suggestions, and with PoSH we'll go ahead with certain more things.
That is really a great initiative, ma'am. Like, this would make many women feel secure and come up and talk to you, and also not just sit quiet and let things happen, and then I'll come at a point there where they have to resign the job. So this is a good act, and I think we can everyone take this as a motivation or a suggestion, and try impacting this at our workplace also, like getting fixing one day in a month and just getting casually sitting with the employees and creating a bond, speaking up, opening up about things where we can change something, and or some behavior what which we are not liking about each other, not only women, even we can allow a male to speak about the same, that no, this behavior is something that even sometimes it is like even male also feel uncomfortable or awkward talking about the situation. By acting such, giving opportunity to both male and women, I guess we can create a good workplace for each other in the society.
Indeed.
Thank you, ma'am. Thank you so much.
Thank you so much.
I would like Neha to give memento to Anaga ma'am, thanking her for coming today, accepting the accepting for training us and giving us really a good training, ma'am. Ma'am, we are having a couple of questions. Shall I proceed with the question? So, ma'am, here Trupti is asking, ma'am, अगर complain करते वक्त अगर police station में भी constable harass कर दे, तो what can we do at that particular point? You are not audible.
As I said, one of the important reason why this particular enactment was enacted is the ladies, they don't go and file a complaint. And why don't they file a complaint? Other than stigma, yes, in many cases, it's an experience that whenever a lady goes to file a complaint in police station, the police also looks at her like, इसने ही कुछ किया है. So if she herself is a wrongdoer, then yes, I should also get benefit out of that. So whenever are we talking about, let it be PoSH or let it be IPC, as I said, Indian Penal Code, पुलिस को इससे राहत नहीं है. He is not out of the purview of both these enactments. That particular lady can file a complaint with the internal committee of the police station. As I said, internal committee is not only for the employee over there. She can file a complaint at that committee if she feels like. She can file a complaint against that police officer under IPC, also Indian Penal Code. It is not the case that his police, so complaint cannot be filed against him. And if it happens that because police is involved, it might happen that their internal complaints committee might not hear her, might not listen her, then in that case, she can directly reach to the higher authorities of police. She can directly reach to the National Women Commission. And just now I mentioned about the she box, which is available there online on the portal of Women Welfare Department. She can raise complaint over there also. Okay.
Ma'am, Yogesh is asking, girls, those are going to college, schools and colleges are covered under this act. Are they covered in
Yes,
this particular act?
just now, as I mentioned, all the employees, all the workplaces, they are supposed to have the internals committee if more than 10 people are engaged. So schools, universities, colleges, they are supposed to have committees. As I said, if committee is not working, you can file a complaint against that organization mentioning that they have not set up a committee. One thing. Another thing is, if their committee is not entertaining the complaint, then the complaint can be filed with the police. And again, she box, as I mentioned.
Okay. Ma'am, Somnath sir is asking, can a colleague of aggrieved employee file a complaint on behalf of the victim in case she or her relative is not in a position or keen to file a complaint?
Yes, a colleague also can file a complaint. However, in that situation, that has to be shown, that has to be mentioned in the complaint as to why is he filing a complaint. because it's a cardinal principle of law. We are talking about the law. It's a cardinal principle of law. हम लोग उसको लोकस स्टैंडर्ड बोलते हैं. जब मैं कोई कंप्लेंट करती हूँ, मैं क्यों फाइल कर रही हूँ कंप्लेंट, मुझे क्या रीजन है, why, in what capacity I am filing complaint. तो नॉर्मली अगर मेरे साथ कुछ हुआ है तो आई शुड फाइल अ कंप्लेंट. जैसे मैंने बोला, ये जो केस थी विशाखा वर्सेस स्टेट ऑफ राजस्थान, दैट भवरी देवी, she has not gone up to the Supreme Court because it was impossible for her to reach the Supreme Court, and therefore Vishakha filed complaint on behalf of Bhavri Devi. Similarly, over here, a male employee can file a complaint, but that has to be justified. Why is that happening?
Reply कर लो.
Here Ashish is suggesting that we must not use word aurat as it itself is derogatory. Corrected word is mahila or stri or nari. Any view on this comment, ma'am?
Will you please repeat?
He's telling we must not use word aurat as it itself is derogatory. Corrected word is mahila, stri or nari.
What word he has objection? I'm not able to.
Aurat.
Aurat.
He's saying we can correctly we can call them as mahila, stri or nari.
See, all those are synonymous. You can use any of the word. The PoSH uses the word victim. When we talk of a law, we use the word victim.
Okay. So, ma'am, also there's a question. When we complain in that she box, the name of the victim is mentioned or it is anonymous at that time.
You are supposed to mention. See, yes, this is very important point. As I mentioned, that ICC is supposed to maintain confidentiality. Similarly, wherever there are cases which do have the sexual harassment part into it, the government, even the courts, they are not allowed to disclose the name of victim. So whenever a complaint is filed, in complaint the name has to be disclosed, no doubt about it. However, that name will not be disclosed, that name will not be given publicity thereafter. Complaint cannot be anonymous. Complaint has to be with a name, has to be, it should mention all the details. However, that name will not be disclosed, that will not be made public.
That is the reason, ma'am. Many of the women, just because of the afraid that if she complains, there would be a personal attack outside the office where at a certain period of time, like it is like she has been so much tortured from outside that she has to take the case back, or there has to be some kind of compensation she has to agree with. She's not willingly. So that afraid and there's a that afraid is in many movements. So.
Actually, that particular aspect has been considered while enacting the PoSH. Just now, as you mentioned, so many compelling situations, so many threats, so many other influencing factors are there. And because of that, a lady is not coming forward to file a complaint. इसीलिए ये जो enactment है वो employer को बोलता है that employer should support a lady, and that is why this particular enactment बोलता है, मैं नहीं बोल रही हूँ, that you should have awareness sessions for the employers, all the employers, as well as there should be the sessions, periodical sessions for the ICC also. To ये जो प्रॉब्लम है, इस प्रॉब्लम को ही इससे ही हमें निपटना है, इससे ही हमें आगे बढ़ना है. तो एक तो थोड़ा when are we starting this, we know that always at start we do face some issues, but as we move ahead, those issues they do go, those problems they do vanish, and then the things become easy, then the things become normal. So that is what we are supposed to do over here. We need to support such ladies. Employer, the management is supposed to support that particular lady. And if the management is not supporting, if the employer is not supporting, then as I said, the court has awarded the compensation.
Okay, ma'am. Thank you so much. Thank you so much for training us, clearing so many points, because many women were many women were quiet and facing many issues, but I guess after after this training they will start raising voice for themselves or to the women around them, helping them helping them and raising them above. Yes, ma'am. Ma'am, there's one more question. What are the two most common types of harassment?
Okay. Actually, it cannot be so generalized. Like in taunting, we all of us know. I mean, it's very quoting this example could be very funny. Like in just to make it easy to understand, I am quoting this. Many a times we know at college level it happens. ऐसे कोई friends खड़े होते हैं and then they start taunting. They make some comments. So such kind of commenting, such kind of taunts, it is found even at the organization level, even at the workplace. One thing. Another thing is sending messages. Okay, now we know that one-to-one messages can be sent. It's so easy. Technology has developed. So Facebook hai, SMSs hai, WhatsApp hai. So even when are we talking about the sexual harassment? Yes, that one part I forgot to mention. Sexual harassment at workplace. When are we talking about? Nowadays we are वर्किंग इन ऑनलाइन मॉड्यूल. बहुत बार हम लोग ऑनलाइन काम करते हैं, तो दैट हैज आल्सो बीन कंसीडर्ड. मेल में कुछ लिख देना, कुछ पोएम भी लिख दी है, 4 वर्ड्स है, पोएम है, दिखने में तो वो पोएम है, लेकिन क्या बोलते हैं ना हम लोग, कहीं पे इशारे जैसा हम लोग बोलते हैं, जिसको समझना है वो समझ जाती है. So that is why the act also says that it is subjective experience. You can't put it in a straight jacket formula. So all those, they are routine which are happening as on date. During online meeting, वो जो हम लोग screen लगाते हैं, वो कुछ derogatory हो सकता है. Anything is there.
Ma'am, Kalpana is asking, along with complaint, do we need to give any evidence for the same?
Evidence, if you have evidence, then you should mention, you should give the evidence. And if you have witness, like ये जब हुआ तब यही आदमी उस वक्त वहां पे था, so you are supposed to mention the name of that witness also.
मैम तृप्ति सिंह, मैम सेक्सुअल हैरेसमेंट होने वाले विक्टिम को उसका बयान सुनाने के लिए कोई अलग रूम क्यों नहीं होता? मैंने अभी तक कोर्ट में देखा है मैम, हमें सुनाने वाले को तकलीफ होती है तो बताने वाले कैसे कंफर्टेबल रहेंगे? ये इंसिडेंट विश्वास नांगरे पाटिल सर के सामने हुआ था, बट बाकी लोग इंटरेस्ट लेके सुन रहे थे.
Yes, this is very unfortunate. हम लोग ऐसा बोलते हैं when we lawyers working in this particular field, especially rape case जो होती है ना, तो एक बार होता है, वो जो होता है एक्ट एक बार होता है, but that lady suffers from the pain again and again. एक act because she is before the court, or this is one of the reason that the ladies they don't file a complaint. लेकिन law में we do have a provision in law wherein it says that such cases should be heard in camera. What is in camera? जो कोई भी उस केस से रिलेटेड है वही लोग सिर्फ कोर्ट रूम में बैठेंगे. रेस्ट ऑफ द अदर पीपल्स, थर्ड पर्सन्स, they should leave the courtroom. The door should be closed, door should be locked, and then hearing should be done. And in court, such kind of hearings, they do take place. If the judge is not that much sensitive, then the lady or whoever is accompanying her or whoever witnesses such particular incidents, you should point out that hearing should be done in camera. That is called as in camera hearing.
Thank you so much, ma'am. I would like to end this webinar with a vote of thanks to Siddharth sir, my boss, because he's always supported me and he has always been like a backbone for me and to explore more. And in fact, even in today's hosting, he helped me a lot. I would like to thank Pradeep sir and Tushar sir. They has supported me a lot. Anand sir, especially for giving me this opportunity and trusting me that I can do this. I'd like to thank ODEX team and Chinmay sir for assisting me in this webinar and completely looking after the technical department. Thank you so much. Jai Hind, Jai Bharat.